California Governor Gavin Newsom is busy meeting with voters in South Carolina.
That's interesting.
The Democrat has been traveling.
That's a long flight, actually.
It seems a quite opposite side of the country. The Democrat has been traveling throughout the state, which is expected to play a pivotal role in the primary race for the presidency. Congressman Jim Clyburn, who helped resurrect President Biden's White House campaign in 2020, introduced Newsom at an event last night, adding, quote, "I feel good about his chances."
And he, of course, is talking about he feels good about his chances cleaning up the quality of life issues back in California. I mean, I gotta say, Jonathan Lemire, if Gavin Newsom he goes to South Carolina, they're talking about his presidential race. Well, let the early morning talk about 2020, what year? 8 begin. I mean, that's a guy who, if he runs, he's got a lot to defend in California. If you look at quality of life issues there, man, he's
a good fighter, though.
He's really good fighter on TV. He's a really good debater, but he's got a really big pile of problems back in California.
Gavin Newsom is starting his presidential campaign early, right? Halfway across the state, halfway across the nation from his state. He's out here campaigning in South Carolina for what? I showed a clip of MSNBC. Even they admit that he has a lot to defend, a lot of garbage to defend. And I'll use one of the stuff as an example, for instance, right? Whenever socialists think that the state can solve something, and I know I've been picking on socialists recently, but it has to be known, like, these leftists, you guys, y'all make big talks that you know damn well you can't cash. Newsom spent like $24 billion of California's money over 5 years to end homelessness. Now, he didn't end homelessness. This is why I'm talking about socialism being a scam, and socialists cashing checks that they know they can't really keep. If they could not end homelessness, but you would expect homelessness to go down. Nope, homelessness went up. These are one of the examples that Gavin Newsom is going to have to defend. Here's another example. Gavin Newsom's here online is virtue signaling. Freedom of religion, not in Trump's America. Now people have to choose between their faith and their freedom. He quoted something, but really? In Trump's America, you can't do nothing? Here's what Gavin Newsom did. Social church sues over Gavin Newsom's singing ban. But freedom of religion, you're not allowed to have that. Fear-mongering over nothing. Just like, one of the things that I always laugh, especially with black Democrats, is they talk about how Trump needs fear to run. And I make the argument that no, Democrats need fear to run. Here's an example of this in this clip here.
What we're experiencing is America in reverse. They're trying to bring us back to a pre-1960s world on voting rights. You know it well. Civil rights. LGBTQ rights, women's rights, and not just, access to abortion, but also access to simple reproductive care, contraceptions. What we're experiencing.
Yeah, Newsom's going to have a lot of problems defending his record, honestly. Like, to me, he's not the candidate. Like, in 2028, like, if you were to ask me, Kenny, who do the Democrats have that they can push in 2028 that'll have a better chance than Gavin Newsom? I'll say Dean Phillips. I'll say him. Josh Shapiro, I don't know about him now. I don't know. Signing that missile going to Ukraine, Russia, to me, it painted him in a bad light. So I don't think he got it. Dan Phillips, I think, is their best shot. Like, if they can find a politician like Dan Phillips for 2028, I think they can make it competitive. But if you put Gavin Newsom has a lot to defend. The LA riot stuff, the wildfires, two wildfires in his administration, and he don't know how to do anything about it. He was warned numerous times what he had to do to prevent these issues, and he still couldn't do it. The fire department wasn't properly prepared for the wildfires. The state wasn't properly prepared for the wildfires. And this is the part that was crying about extreme weather events and climate change, yet you're not prepared for climate change. Interesting. Every time you fail, you have some type of excuse, and you try to somehow blame Trump for it. This is the Democratic Party, and this is why, like, in my political calculation, I can't trust somebody with power if they can't hold themselves accountable for that power. You have, like, I don't know if he still do his podcast, but I remember when he had the podcast, the transgender stuff. I don't know if he's the guy. but Democrats believe he's their best shot of winning 2028. And he's getting the same treatment that Kamala Harris was getting. You know, he's getting the spotlight, he's getting this media attention, right? He's speaking in a Southern accent. I don't know why Democrats do this BS. Like, just talk like a normal individual. God damn. Like, what? Oh, how? This is what I'm talking about when I say Democrats come across to me as deceitful, deceptive, unauthentic. But I digress. I want you to show this clip, 2-minute clip of Gavin Newsom being the actor that he is.
The expansion of rights. But what we've seen in the last number of months, frankly, the last couple of years, we've seen this rights regression. These are folks that quite literally, with respect, want to turn back the clock to a pre-1960s world. And you see it across.
Fear-mongering, right? Fear-mongering. Right? Because I got a question for him. What rights has regressed? What rights did we lose? I know a lot of people lost a lot of privileges, like DI. DI is a privilege. DI is a privilege. That's black privilege, right? Let me stop before these Democrats get mad at me. It's privilege. This is what you're losing. Trans people are losing the privilege of having people validate their existence. We don't ask people to validate anyone's existence. You don't have a right not to be offended. Biologically, you're not a woman. No matter how much you dress yourself up and pretend to be a woman. It's like a white person wearing blackface. You're not black. No matter how much you make yourself look as black as you can, you're not black. No matter how dark your tan is, you ain't black. You're white. You have to accept that reality. This is the funny part about the left's delusion. And this is why their coalition is crumbling before their very eyes. People don't agree with the premise of transracial individuals, but they believe in transgender. And all the arguments they make for transracial, like when transracial people try to make this argument that they identify as black and they're black Democrats get offended and say, no, you're not black. But black Democrats believe that you could be a woman. Make it make sense. What rights has been lost? Name me one. Democrats in my comment section, what rights has been lost? And you're going to find out a lot of the things they put in the comment section, it's not rights, it's privileges. Oh, trans people can't live their truth. Is it society's responsibility to enforce an individual's beliefs onto other people? You're going to say no. Because if you agree with that, if you say yes to that, then religious people should be able to impose their beliefs on other people. But if you have a self-delusion about yourself, hey, Kenny believes he's the most handsome man alive, and he's mad that he got snubbed by the handsomest man alive magazine or something like that. Should I be able to force that magazine to put my face on the front cover? Everyone's going to say, hell no, Kenny, you're delusional. Respectfully. That's what y'all going to tell me. But individuals identifying themselves as the opposite gender, we're supposed to reaffirm their beliefs. And you believe that's a right? That's not a right. That's a privilege. What separates a right versus a privilege? A right is something you can do without the permission of others, and someone try to restrict that. That's a right. A privilege is requiring something from someone else's, needing the consent of someone else. The minute you need the consent of someone else, it's a privilege, not a right. Hey, I want you to identify me as a woman. You have to ask I had to consent to that. And I said no. You don't have the right to force me to agree with your delusion. That's a privilege. A right is you can dress yourself up. You can make yourself look like a woman as much as you can call yourself a woman. That's your right. I can't control your speech. I can't control your thoughts. I can't control your actions. But you can't control mine either. It goes both ways. And this is the problem with Democrats. They categorize these privileges as rights. And this is why we have the two different views of America right now. And this is why I say Gavin Newsom can't win. Because he can only run on emotionalism and fear. And this is why he always scaring these black folks about how they're going to lose. Oh, we're rolling back the clock. We're going back to 1960s. Where? You said the same thing about Trump 1.0. Nothing like that happened. 2.0, yeah, I'm making the same claim. Make it make sense. But this is the political theater that many people see out of Gavin Newsom. And I think this is why he's not an effective candidate, at least not in this day and age. But we'll see.
And you see it across the spectrum. You understand it better than anyone here in South Carolina on voting rights, on civil rights, on LGBTQ rights, on issues, obviously, of women's rights. No state more impactful.
These are talking points. Because what voting rights was infringed upon? Oh, illegals can't vote in a country that they're not citizens of. Revolutionary idea. Hey, you have to prove you're actually an American citizen. If you didn't do your due diligence, if you didn't register yourself to vote, sorry, you lose your access to vote. I don't look down on black people. I think black people are fully capable because I know every black person watching this video has a driver's license. I know you did what was required to register yourself so you can drive your vehicle. We're requiring the same thing for a vote. But for some reason, that's too hard for black people. Is that what you're implying, Gavin Newsom? This is how I know liberals are some of the most racist people in this country. They have the low expectations for black people. Like, oh, black people can't do this. Black people can't do that. Black people don't have internet. Kathy Hochul, Democratic governor, she said that, and I quote, black people don't know how to use the internet. Black people don't know how to go to the DMV. Some of the most racist assumptions. The bigotry of low expectations. That is the Democratic Party. And you have these black Democrats going, ridiculous. Ridiculous. Nothing but feelings and emotion. No logic. No information. No, he didn't give me no case study, no specific case of whatever he's saying happened. No, he just say a buzzword, losing liberal rights, black civil rights. No, nothing. Just leave it up to you to come to your own conclusions about what he's saying. But he can't give the case.
Acted on those issues than this state. And so again, our state of mind has to be more focused, and we have to have a sense of intentionality and urgency. And I'll close on this. And that includes everyone. Those we agree with, those we disagree with, but also parts of our state, your state and country, with all due respect, that my party, Democrats, our party, frankly have neglected. Yes. That even if we haven't turned our back intentionally, we've kind of forgotten. I mean, I'm proud. I love that I'm here. This is amazing. I think it's so great. I love it. And this is where we need to be spending time. Democrats need to be spending time. You matter, and our party cares.
He's supposed to be spending time in his own damn state, not doing this. This is all for political show. I'm done watching this stuff, bro. This is some emotional BS. This is why Democrats lose men. Like, I'm being serious now. This doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. I'm looking at him like, you trying to con me, bro. Like, what you doing? Like, I don't care how you feel. We didn't intentionally turn our back on you. I don't care. Your actions does nothing to help me. Oh, I had the best intentions, Kenny, of helping. No. Don't care about your intentions. I care about your outcomes. And I'm looking at your outcomes. You don't give good outcomes to your own state of California who trust you. I mean, you got recalled. You almost got recalled. People wanted a revote. And you had to go back and kiss their butt to make sure they didn't recount you or vote you out of the as governor. Y'all forgot about that? A guy that almost got recalled and he wants to run for 2028 and Democrats think that's a good idea. Yeah, hey, ain't my party, not my circus, right? But hey, I digress. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think what Gavin Newsom is doing is appealing to most Americans? Or speak for yourself. Is it appealing to you? I don't think so. I think if you are a common sense individual, I think if you're paying attention and you see the pattern of actions that Democrats tend to do, nothing changed about this party. All they did was change the packaging. Lipstick on a pig is make it still a pig. No matter how you dress it up, how you present it, it's still bad policies. It's still bad outcomes. And Gavin Newsom is the very avatar of that. To me, in my estimation, Gavin Newsom is everything wrong with the Democratic Party. And if they run him, like I already told Democrats what to do. I mean, you can take a right-leaning independence advice or not. Because I believe most men, this is where most Gen Z is. They're actually in the center. Either they lean left or lean right. That's most Gen Z right now. That's my explanation. But I talk about how Democrats should not put up another California Democrat because California Democrats, they do not know how to talk to non-Democrat voters. The number one thing holding the Democratic Party back. They like to elect these people in these strong, like, there's not a chance in hell a Democrat will lose in these states. And they like to put them as front runners for their party, and they think that's an appealing thing. Get out of here. You lost historically with a California Democrat last election in 2024, and you think, oh, let's try another California Democrat. Changing the packaging, but still delivering the same piece of crap. That's the brand of the Democratic Party. But let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you're so inclined. It really does help me on the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.